Okay, good evening and hello. My name is Amanda Funk and I am with Passions into Profits. And this evening we're going to be discussing email marketing. Now, I want to thank all of those of you who are joining me this evening because I realized we were supposed to do this in our community room this evening, but unfortunately all the little pieces did not come together in time and we had to convert to webinar. But I hope that means you're at home and you're comfortable and you have snacks and you have one of your favorite beverages and you're nice and relaxed and ready to really enjoy the content that we go over this evening. Now, as we get going, feel free to pop your comments or questions in the comments box. I believe I have that on for your convenience as we go along. Raise your hand if you have questions. I'm a very informal presenter, so feel free to interject with questions, and as soon as I get to the end of the slides, I will pause and answer those questions. If you have questions after class, feel free to email me. You can do so at amanda@passionsintoprofits.help, or you can go through our website contact page, and our website is www.passionsintoprofits.help. Why? Because we're here to help you. And it's a minute after our beginning point, so why don't we just jump right into the programming, and we will gather any questions or comments at the end or as we go along as needed. So by now, you should have seen this printed out. It's your Passions into Profit email marketing workbook. If you have printed it out, fantastic. If you're going to follow along on the screen, that's fine too. Feel free to take notes. So inside this workbook, you have your questions to fill in the blanks. You also have a place where you can take additional notes, should you choose. Or you have a handy-dandy little bonus password keeper. So you can use that as you go forward in your marketing efforts, and you don't have to go crazy looking for something if Chrome loses passwords. So as we go along, I'm going to point directly to content in this workbook for you to fill in the blanks. If you miss something as we go, feel free to shoot me an email and I will help you fill in the blanks, because that is what we do here, is we work with small businesses just like yours to fill in the blanks to make sure your business is structured and your marketing is placed and you can actually take that passion and turn it into a profitable business. Now, let me scooch over here and do a screen share so you can see the program that we are looking to run this evening. So, as I said, this is Passions into Profits, and we're here to support small businesses as they go along their journey to ensure they actually see the profitability they need so they can support their family and their communities, because that is something that both Shelly and I, Shelly, my business partner, Shelly Hoffman, and I are both truly, truly passionate about, is supporting small businesses and the communities around them. So this entire program was built around the idea of how to connect with your customers when Facebook fails, when Facebook stops working, or Instagram's not getting the clicks or the results you're looking for, or you just wanted one extra way to get through all the noise of social media marketing. Email marketing is a huge component for most major companies out there, and we're going to cover a little bit why tonight they still invest so much time and so many people and so much money into email marketing and why it's so important. So again, if you have questions as we go along, feel free to raise your hand. So a little bit about me. I'm the co-owner here at Passions into Profits. I've been in the marketing industry for 15 years now. I've been in customer service for even longer, but Shelly says I can't count my Girl Scout cookie sales as customer service. I beg to differ, but we'll go with her on this one. So if you have any questions about marketing in general, feel free to pop them in the comment box and I will answer them as we go as well. Okay. So let's talk about email marketing in 2019. It's a different ball of wax than it was even 5 years ago. So the entire purpose of email marketing when it comes to your customer base now is to inspire, connect, and then grow your business through it. And we're going to start on page 1 of the workbook, and we're right here at the top. So moving on. 84% of consumers want to be treated as a person and not a number. And we can understand that ourselves in the way we engage with the businesses around us. And the reason we're talking about email marketing tonight is 2.4 billion people are on Facebook. But there are now more mobile devices in the world, internet connected mobile devices in the world than there are people. So there are so many people out there with multiple devices for both work and personal or whatever other necessity they have, an additional mobile device. There are more internet connected mobile devices in the world than human beings. And the number one application on every single one of those devices, it comes preloaded and it's the most popular one in use, is email. So that's why email is so incredibly important going forward beyond Facebook and Instagram. We're going to talk about how to include the social media platforms in our marketing efforts a little bit later in this program, but we're going to focus on email. And we're going to focus on how to take those emails, send the emails, what results we can get from the emails, what conversions we can expect from the emails, how much to spend on it, and a whole host of other details that are far too many to put into one little post, which is why we started this whole workshop. So going back to the customers, they are looking for that individualized customer service experience. Think of Amazon. When you go on Amazon, you feel like you are the only one that is there shopping that platform. Truth be told, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people using that platform simultaneously, and you have no idea that they're there. You are receiving a personalized experience. You'll even get recommendations for other products you should purchase. And that's something that we're going to use email to do. We're going to create that personalized shopping or connecting experience with every client that receives your email. And because of that, 84% of customers want to be treated as a person and not a number. They want that individualized experience, and let's talk about how to give it to them. That's top of question number one, 84% is your fill in the blank. Now, why are they looking to give us our email? Why would they even tell us how to connect with them? Well, 79% of those people are looking for discounts. They want some sort of, they're looking for data that is relevant to them, and 88% are looking for personalized offers and discounts. So we're talking about the people who are signing up for your email, whether you're a service provider or a retailer or a consultant. They are looking to hear from you. That's why they're providing their email address. And we can talk a bit later about how to gather those email addresses, but let's focus on the why behind the email address for right now. 79% want to receive relevant data. You are the expert in your field. You're the reason you started to put your passion out there to turn it into a profitable business. And that's why people want to hear from you on this topic. And that's why they have signed up to follow you. So it's your job to provide them with content that is relevant, that is serviceable, that is actionable, and that is enjoyable. And you can do that through email. 88% sign up and provide their email address in exchange for personalized offer. You go to, any giant retailer. It could be Old Navy, it could be Target, it could be Agway, it could be anyone you so choose. They'll say, do you have an email you want to provide to us for coupons? And you'll generally say, sure, I'd love a coupon for a couple bucks off because it's a retailer you want to shop again. Or if it's a one-timer, you'll probably say, no thanks, I'm all set, because you don't need additional emails from them going forward. But those people you want to engage with or get coupons from, you readily provide your email address. And the same is for your target audience. They're looking to get quality content or coupons for products or services that they want to purchase in the future. Some of them do it just because they want to follow along and join you on your journey, and that's a beautiful thing as a small business to have little cheerleaders along the way. So, why are we going to use email? Because marketing is becoming increasingly automated. Now, I know the word automated can sound scary or intimidating, or like there's a lot of work that goes into it. And it's really not. We're maybe talking about half an hour a week to put together email campaigns that will automatically go out to your recipients. And we'll talk a little bit later about how to choose which recipient gets which email. But the whole process is set up to keep them, or keep you, I should say, on the top of the customer's mind. It's called top of mind marketing. People are bombarded every day with millions of marketing messages, from the logo on the soda can to the icon on the back of the motor vehicle in front of them in traffic, to the signs of the city they're in. Everything is an advertisement for something. So you have to find some way to cut through that noise in a way that your customer wants to engage. And you have to cut through that noise enough times that they realize you're looking to communicate with them and you would like to do business with them. A good example is if you have kids. It used to be you could tell a child no once. And I can tell you from my personal experience, I have to tell my children no at least 7 times before they get the picture. It's a no. And it's not because I'm lousy at communicating with my kids my expectations. It's because they're used to being bombarded with messaging all around that it does take 7 times for me to get through their tiny little noise barriers and into their mind for them to realize it's a no. So marketing automation tools help you do that. And those particular tools are expected to grow 95% in the next 2 years. That is huge. That's huge for anything to change 95% in the next 2 years. And the reason it's going to change is because people are becoming more and more app dependent for their communications. And again, that number one app is email. So we're going to have to figure out a way how to repeatedly get in front of our potential clients, and automation is the easiest way to do that. And again, we're going down our little sheet here. So if you have any blanks you're missing, feel free to raise your hand or catch up with me later. So what are the 2 goals of marketing? They're to grow and retain your customer base and increase engagement. It is always significantly easier to keep a client you already have than one you have not yet signed on. And we'll go over some specific numbers a little later in this program. But the 2 main goals, grow and retain, and increase engagement. So you want to expand the number of people that you're communicating to, and you want to keep those that you have already brought into your business, and you want to increase the amount they are participating with your communications. Are they sharing? Are they clicking? Are they calling you and saying, hey, I saw your email and I wanted to hear more about that sale? Or are they even, I love it when this happens, printing off the email and going, here, I saw this, can I have this discount? Those are my favorites because those are truly, truly engaged customers. Sometimes they'll come with their mobile phone and I'm just as happy with that when they hold up their phone and go, hey, this is the email I got, is that sale still available? I love that because I know I hit a sweet spot with them and they're ready to engage with my business because I sent an email. It's fantastic. So with generally speaking, marketing, the definition of marketing is to push content to pull a response. So we're going to send out an email to increase our chance of closing the deal. And that's the whole thing behind grow, retain, and engage. So let's talk about our agenda today. How do we boost the results through targeted emails? And if I use any verbiage here that is not familiar with you, I promise I'll break it down as we go. Just let me know if something is a stumbling block for you. I'm happy to break it down further. I spend so much time in the marketing industry, I sometimes forget to use non-marketing lingo. For example, I was talking about someone about algorithms the other day and she's like, we have no idea what an algorithm is. I'm like, okay, the computer code. So feel free to tell me if I am going too high or too low, and I'm happy to adjust for those in the audience. So we're going to talk about how to boost those results through targeted emails. We're going to talk about how to do more business with automation. So we're going to do more with less work, and we're going to do it consistently. We're going to talk about how to provide value to your customers so you can grow your business, because at the end of the day, If you are just marketing or putting content out there and you're not making money, it's a waste of time and effort. And we need to hone in onto the products and tools and resources that really help you become profitable. And then we're going to talk about the end of this. What does that look like? How do you pull this all together? What should the email actually look like that's going out to the client versus me sending you off on your own with no idea of what to design? Because I don't want to do that to you. So let's start with how to boost results and engage with targeted emails. Now, these are 3 sample emails. So there are special and promotional list, there's a cycle members list, and there's a news and update list. And the reason this particular slideshow has variables on what type of content to put there is because all your customers are different. They want the same thing from you, but they're all different in how they like to be communicated to. Everyone's an individual. And this goes back to one of our earlier slides where we said everyone wants to feel like they're having a personalized experience. So are they a person that wants to see specials and promotions? Do they only want to hear from you in their coupons because they are coupon fanatics? Do they want to be a VIP member? Do they want to be on the list? Do they want to be in your business's community? Those are awesome. Or do they want your news and updates? They don't care about getting together. They don't care about the coupons. They just want to understand what's happening in the industry that you're supporting. And those are fine too. So those are 3 different types of emails you can send out when you pick your email platform. Now, I don't care what kind of email platform you can want to choose. You can choose to use something like MailChimp. You can choose something to use like Constant Contact, Aweber, Vertical Response. I don't really care which platform you choose to communicate through. These approaches will apply to any platform you so choose. It just may look differently on their dashboard on how you actually put the content together to send it out to people. So when you're putting it together, think of your list. Do they want specials and promotions? Do they want to be on your insider club? Or do they just want news and updates? Or do they want everything because you are truly awesome and they want to hear from you constantly? Whatever the answer to that question is okay, and we can build from there. So what does it mean for your list? When you're talking about, one too far. When we're talking about, go back. There we go. Okay, so B2B. B2B is a business to business. So what examples can I provide you for business to business email marketing? Are you looking to connect with prospects? Are you developing a monthly newsletter? Are you looking to offer them website design, social media services? Are you selling flowers to corporate clients? Are you coaching professionals on how to grow their business? What are you as a business providing another business? That would be the B2B, business to business consulting. These are the type of things that you're the expert in your industry. You can easily put together content and determine what you're going to send them. And I would recommend that you sit down with this right here and you have some notes in the back. I would recommend you sit down and decide, what do you want to communicate to your customers and how do you think they would enjoy being communicated to? Do they want the promotions? Do they want the membership? Or do they just want the facts, Chief? Figure that out, and then we can start to build from that from the business to business consultant side. When you're doing this, one thing I want you to keep in mind is click segmentation. And this was one of those things where I said, if I go off on a marketing tangent and you're not quite up to speed, let me know. So when you get your list, I'm going to break it down just in case. When you get your email list, and this could be gathered because you've put a notebook at the cash wrap, you've asked somebody for a business card at a meeting, you've gone to a networking event and collected a couple business cards, or you've gotten information because you've had sales and they provided you your email at the time of sale. Gather all that information together and put them in different categories or segmentations. And you can even ask people when you're connecting with them face to face or over a sales transaction, What are you interested? Do you want promotions? You check the little box. Do you want to receive news and updates? You check the little box. Are you looking to join our community? You check the little box. And I'm sure you've experienced this when you've purchased something or you've signed up to join a website. They give you the option to say, hey, this is the information I'm looking to receive from you. And that is what you use to build your segmentation. So your list segmentations are different little boxes you're going to put your email addresses into, so you know how to send an email just for that person. Even though there could be 50 people on that list, they're going to get that personalized experience from your email because you've segmented. Now on this screen, I've brought up two different examples of what a list segmentation process would look like. I've used Constant Contact and I've used MailChimp because currently they're the two largest pre-made template style for email marketing that's on the market. Now, email marketing is different from sending an email through, say, Gmail. That would just be a one-on-one email or a larger bulk mail if you include a bunch of people. Email marketing actually includes your branding and buttons you can click as the recipient so you can take an action. Because remember, we're going to be pushing content to pull a response. So your click segmentation, this is where you actually put into your program of the email you've built who is going to get what information to create that personalized experience. Now, this may sound complicated, but it really is just a couple checking of boxes within whatever platform you choose. Again, MailChimp, Constant Contact, I don't care. And you will tell the email what to do. So you're basically performing coding options in a drag and drop situation. So you don't have to think too hard about how this all works with the code on the back end, but your customer sees a nice and clean final product. They just click a button, get a coupon, click a button and register for an event, click a button and purchase something. It's very streamlined for your users. And through segmentation, you can use that personalization approach to ensure your customers are getting content they want in a way that they're going to take an action. And that's the best thing you can have happen, is send an email out and have someone take an action because of the email you sent them. It's kind of like on Facebook, you've put up a post and now you're looking for likes, comments, or shares. But the difference is you can actually track who liked, commented, and shared and who didn't engage with the email at all. So you can determine not only what audience decided they wanted to participate in that email, you can figure out what audience didn't want to participate in that email. And then you can track trends, or you can track different emails and say, hey, my customers love coupons, but they hate news, or they love news and they don't like to get together, they rather stay at home. It is valuable information you can use to determine how you're going to do additional automation in the future, which is fantastic. The customers will actually tell you how they want to do business with you, how they're going to spend money with you, and what interests them based on where they click in the email. And that's where the click segmentation comes in. It's because you can track specifically where they are going once they receive your information. So let's talk about this scenario in a B2C situation. Now, B2C is business to consumer. So you're not talking about an insurance company selling insurance to an employer. You're talking about a bakery selling baked goods to a customer. So what type of information are you going to segment? Maybe you have multiple locations. Maybe you have a location in Baldwinsville and maybe you have a location in Fayetteville. You're going to send any coupons to the Fayetteville store, to the geographic area around the email addresses you've collected in Fayetteville. And if you're having an event in Baldwinsville that's for the Baldwinsville community members, you're going to send that to the Baldwinsville area. And when you're collecting your information, your email addresses, it's pretty easy to determine which email goes where. Did they collect it at the Fayetteville store? Great, goes on the Fayetteville list. If they collect it at the Baldwinsville, great, it goes on the Baldwinsville list. So it doesn't have to be super duper complicated on how you gather this data. Now, what are you going to send out to these segmentations? Maybe weekly specials. If you're a bakery, maybe you're going to have a cupcake of the week, which is fantastic because I love cupcakes of the week. And you want to let people know what the flavor is. You can send the Fayetteville flavors and you can send the Baldwinsville flavors. Or if you're having a huge sale, you can hit the whole list and let everybody know both locations are competing to see who has the fan favorite cupcake. You can talk about commercial accounts. Maybe you want to have wholesale pricing for larger customers or a VIP list, but you don't necessarily want those pricing or discounts going over to those who very rarely purchase something for you. That's where the list segmentation comes into play. It allows you to determine who is getting what information when, so you can control the message to allow for that personalized experience that we've been talking about. Okay, so what does the segments look like on the back end? Now, this is a screen from Constant Contact because it was handy for me to gather the information because they actually like to build PowerPoints for me and I get to snag stuff from that. So taking a look at the bakery, this particular bakery has a new segment. They've created a new group of people they want to communicate within the program. And they want to know the contact activity. They want to say they opened any email within the last year because they don't necessarily want to bother people who haven't done business with them in 2 years because it's potentially a dead lead. And the list membership, do they want to know weekly specials? Do they want to know coupons? Do they want to know local events? Like, how have you decided your business is going to communicate itself online? And then the contact details. Do you want to include they're living in this state, or they're living in this zip code, they're living in this part of the world, they are one age or another, they're one gender or another? How do you want to determine this information is going out? So maybe for this particular bakery, it's bridal shower season, and you want to send out an email for this bakery to all the women on your list who live in the area and they're looking to potentially have bridal showers for the months of April, May, June. Great. Now you can say on your segmentation, I want to send this specifically to women. This is the geographic area I want to send it to, and this is the time frame that they've most recently engaged with me, and I want to send it just to these women. That way you're not suddenly getting a ton of orders for bridal shower cupcakes from people who are looking for birthday cupcakes, because that could just get confusing to any customer service rep who's answering the phone. That is a good point, by the way. If you are not a solopreneur, if you're not doing this on your own, make sure you communicate to your staff what you are telling your customers. I've personally had the experience where a company put a post on Facebook. I went to go purchase according to the deal they had published, and the staff had no idea that deal was even happening, and they had to figure out how to provide me with the discount that was promised online. So make sure you are communicating what deals you have ongoing with everyone who's going to be answering the phone and ringing customers out. I know that was a side note from email marketing. That was just a piece of life lesson. Okay. So maybe in your spare time, you want to help with the email marketing for a not-for-profit that you're volunteering with. How could you possibly segment that list? Because we've covered B2B, business to business, and B2C, business to consumer. Let's talk about the segmentations and what it would look like for not-for-profits. Are they talking to current donors? Are they talking at different giving levels? Maybe some people give it $5, maybe some people give it $500. Completely different messaging between the two categories. Are they riders or are they volunteers? Are they receiving the service from the not-for-profit, or are they supporting the service from the not-for-profit? So this is a general overview on how to determine what segment or group you're going to put your email communications into to ensure your customer or your donor or your volunteer has a personalized experience. Because at the end of the day, this is all about how your business is able to serve your customers through their email. And that's what it boils down to, is providing valuable content that your customer will want to take action on. Now, if I send a rider please help us. We need volunteers for a large event on Saturday. And I'm now concerned that the event on Saturday is not going to go smoothly. I may not share your information on Facebook. I may even go online if I am the kind of person to stir the pot and tell other people that the event is being canceled because there aren't volunteers. I actually got phone calls like that for a not-for-profit this week where someone was concerned that an event had been double booked. It had not, but the rumor mill was still spinning. So we had to correct the information, even though the information hadn't been disseminated by us. We had to quash concerns because somebody went and said there weren't enough volunteers. That's just an example. Did a lot this week and it's only Tuesday. So how do you use the data and segmentation and integrate it with tools? This may be a whole new step up. And as I've gone through on your checklist, I hope you've taken time to read what type of emails you're going to typically send. I want you to use this workbook for your business. Don't fill in the blanks based on what I'm sharing with you. Fill in the blanks based on how you as a business person can utilize these tools and tips in your business tomorrow morning. So what type of emails are you typically sending? Are they promotions? Are they newsletters? Or are they specific content or membership deals? So fill your blanks in there. And what do you want content to be created or curated for your business? And we can talk about content creation and curation, but I didn't want to go on to page 2 before you had a chance to fill out page 1. So when you're using the data, the information, the email address, the first name, the last name, the physical address, the birth date, the anniversary, when you're gathering that information, what are you going to do to segment it and then provide integrations? Now, integrations are a fantastic tool when it comes to your email marketing. They're going to allow you to put in a PayPal button. They're going to allow you to put in a booking button. They're going to allow you to put in a save my seat or reserve a ticket button. So these integration tools, and again, depending on what software plan you choose, Constant Contact, MailChimp, Vertical Response, Aweber, there are thousands of them out there. It depends on what integrations are available. Now, I would recommend you stick with one of the 2 bigger players, which are Constant Contact and MailChimp, simply because they have the most integrations that are going to be easy for you to use depending on how versed you are in technological communications and getting the computers to talk between each other. So why are we going to use an integration? Now, this screen tells you a bit more zoomed in what integrations you can use. Do you want to ensure, and I would recommend, that your email is working with Facebook? Do you have an online store? Are you working with Shopify? Maybe you want to include a sign-up form on your Shopify website, or you want to import the data from your sales on Shopify to create a customer list, which I would highly recommend you do if you are using a point of sale program. Are you using something like Outlook? Are you a Microsoft Office person? Do you have a ton of contacts that you don't want to type in manually? Well, that's where an integration comes into play. It allows you to pull data from other programs and upload it into your email marketing program and then develop your list segmentation. It is so darn handy compared to sitting there and chicken typing one name and email address at a time. Why? Because we're looking to make money. We're not looking to spend a ton of time doing emails. So if this is your brain right now, if I have kind of gone all over the place on email marketing, integrations, and segmentations, that's okay. I understand entirely. It's a ton of information to try to cram into an hour-and-a-half workshop. So feel free to raise your hand if you have questions, and I'll go ahead and address them as we go along. And I want your brain to not be full of questions, even though if it is, it's okay. I want your brain to really be full of ideas. If your brain is brimming of different types of emails that you personally can send to your contact list and segment out, that is fantastic. That is one of my hopes for this email marketing course, is to get you thinking, to get the synapses firing and get you feeling creative so you are empowered to go send out an email tomorrow. Now, if you haven't signed up for an email account and you're not sure which platform is best for you, go ahead and shoot me an email, and I can go over the pros and cons of the different platforms with you to see which one is right for your business specifically. And personally, I love it when someone does that for me, because I always want to talk to the person who's an expert in their industry to find out what the best tool to use is, because I don't want to try to use a flathead screwdriver on a Phillips head screw and spend hours just torturing myself trying to get something that wasn't meant to fit together to work. So I hope you are brimming with ideas right now as we move along. Okay, so let's talk about this. So Pierre's Bicycle Shop, he has all of his contacts in the world, and maybe he wants to announce a big sale or a big event, and he just wants to get the word out. Maybe Pierre wants to talk specifically to those who have customers that have children. Maybe he's doing a helmet safety day. Maybe he's going to do a safety riding day, and he wants to let the littles out there have a chance to get involved with bicycling, or he wants to develop a camp. Or maybe he just wants to talk about customers that have recently purchased, because as we said earlier, those who have purchased with you before are more likely to purchase with you again. So he's going to reach out to those who bought recently and say, hey, thank you, or now that you've bought this really cool bike, come check out this event that you can show your bike off at. Or how is he going to reach with all these different categories? And this is where list segmentation comes in. And this is where sitting down and thinking about how can you communicate to your customer that you are looking to provide value and fun to them in a way that they're going to get excited. So if you're a bicyclist, the idea of saving big at a huge sale is fantastic, because bicycling is very expensive, especially if you have kids. They grow up, they grow out of the equipment. It simply will be too small for them at some point. So maybe you want to use a big sale to upgrade your child to that next or bigger and better bicycle. Or maybe you just need one with little dingy bells on it because your kid's dying for one, and the big sale is a great opportunity for you to do that. So this is where those segmentations come in. How is Pierre and Pierre's Bike Shop going to personalize the message of the emails to each of these groups? And this is an example of that, and I hope it's clearly displayed on your screen for you. I know my block is blocking part of the text. So, and there's one, he's saying the sale ends tomorrow. And then the customer of the kids here, he's saying the sale ends tomorrow. And there's a bike safety clinic, even better. And then for the customers with recent purchases, there's a sale that ends tomorrow. And here are some tips to ensure your new purchase lasts even longer. So those are 3 different ways Pierre's Bike Shop was able to communicate the big sale tomorrow with their different customer segmentations that feels like it was personalized just for them. That's a great example. So when you're putting this together, I want to ensure you are using dynamic content. That means it's content that is live, it's variable, and it can be easily put into your email in a way that makes it pop, makes it wow, makes it worth clicking open. And with the different programs out there, and again, I've used Display of Constant Contact and MailChimp, you can see it's pretty easy. They're both drag and drop. So if you're not familiar with hand coding in your email address, you can simply create an image, drag it into your email, and then you can say, click it right there, and it will live there, and you can type around it. It's a lot like building with Legos on your computer. It's very convenient. And by keeping your content, whether you have created it, you've made it yourself, you've used Photoshop, you've used Canva, or you've used any other design software, or you've written it yourself, say it's a blog piece, or you recorded it yourself as a video, you can pop that into your into your email design. Now, if it's curated content or content you have gone and gathered from other bloggers or video folks or people who have beautiful photography, you can bring that into your email as well and provide a dynamic experience for the person who has opened and read your email. I knew it, push the space bar. Come on. Oh no, my computer froze. What happened? If I hit it again, oh, my thing is moving. I apologize, technical difficulties. I don't know what happened with the slides. Apologies. Let's see if we can go to the next slide manually. There we go. We fixed it. So the next part we're going to talk about in this is how do we go ahead and boost your business with automation? We've talked about how to personalize the content with segmentation. Now we're going to talk about how does this actually build your business? How are you actually going to be able to do what feels like a lot of work and still keep your business going so you can make money while you're looking to advertise and grow to make more money later on? So automation is becoming standard. It's pretty typical for all those across any market to build what are called an automated series, and that's a sequence of emails that go out based on one topic. Let's use an event. Say you have an event coming up in about 2 months and you want people to buy tickets in advance. Well, you're going to build an email automation program. One's going to announce that you have the event coming up. The next is going to announce some of the key features of the event. Then the next one's going to invite people to purchase tickets. And then the next one's going to remind people to purchase tickets. And then the last one is going to say, hey, it's your last chance to buy tickets. You better buy your tickets now. So that's an example of an email series you can set up in advance. So every time you need to send out a piece of material to your customer list, you don't have to sit down to the computer and type it out that day. So if you're working with your team or you are a solopreneur, you can sit down months in advance and generate your content and just set it and forget it like rotisserie chicken. So a lot of B2C marketers are seeing conversion rates as much as 50% with automation. And a conversion is where you take an open to a sale. That is a huge number. If 50% of the people that you spoke to turn around and spent money with you, wouldn't that be fantastic? Typical standards for Facebook is 2 to 5%. It's a very different number from 50%. Now, subscribers who receive a welcome email, as in they sign up for your list and then go, ding, hi, welcome to the party email, are more likely, 33% of them are more likely to stay engaged with your brand or your company long term. That means you brought them in, you gave them the secret handshake, they feel like they're part of the club, and they're going to want to stay with you. And then nurtured leads, so those leads that you get, and you send follow-up emails, also known as prospecting, 47% of those are likely to make a larger purchase or spend more money with you. So this is why email marketing is so important. We already covered there are now more mobily and web connected devices in the world than people, and that number one app is email. Could you imagine converting 47 or 50% of those people, and then 50% of those people spend 47% more money than they would have if they had never gotten that email from your business? This is why email marketing is so crucial going forward, especially with the constant changes in Facebook and Instagram and the other platforms when they change the rules on how you can access the clientele you're looking to communicate with. These numbers you cannot ignore. So, what is a good way to do this? What's a good way to engage your customer, welcome them on board, make them feel like they're getting the individually provided experience, set up automated emails so you don't even have to remember when they're going out, email birthdays and email anniversaries. If you can be brave when you're sitting down with a customer and gather that data and say, hey, Susan, when's your birthday? Or, hey, Bob, when did you and Alice get married? And you record that information and enter it in your system. And you tell your system to send happy birthday coupons or happy anniversary certificates automatically on their anniversary, depending on which program you choose. An email will automatically go out saying, hey, our business thought of you on your special day. People absolutely love that. I have been in restaurants where people specifically sign up for the list because they want a birthday coupon. They want a free dessert on the birthday, because who doesn't want their cake and they want to eat it for free too? This is where automated emails come in and really, really kind of tackle that personalized experience, because it's their birthday. It's just for them. It's their anniversary. You remembered something special that maybe their spouse didn't. You will not likely get any phone calls that you caused marital issues. You will likely get a thank you email. It might spark a conversation, and you may be able to make a sale off of that email, especially if you can sell them something that will help them celebrate those special days. So these are great examples of how you can input data, create segmentation, and then create a personalized experience that will lead to a conversion where they will more likely spend additional funds. It's a beautiful thing. And if you've gotten an email like this, I don't want you to feel like it was a shady marketing tactic. It's a genuine thing for a lot of businesses. They do want to wish their customers a happy birthday or a happy anniversary. It even works for employees. If you have multiple employees, plug in their work anniversary dates and send them a, hey, happy anniversary. Thank you so much for your years of support, and we look forward to what you do and where you grow to next year. So you can use this for in-house communications as well. It's a very handy tool. So what to put in, I kind of cover this. A coupon, a free item, a complimentary service for birthdays. It's clearing. Anniversaries. Maybe it's, ooh, go back. Go back, computer, go back. Okay, it's not going back. So maybe it's a coupon, or as I said, a milestone marker or a remembrance of what they've achieved. What is their anniversary? Maybe they quit smoking and you want to say congratulations on that. Maybe they won the lottery and you want to say, hey, a year ago, this is where you are and look how far you've come. Whatever it is, those are different types of anniversary emails you can send out, despite my slide not cooperating. So what is an automated series? So we've kind of touched on this. It is multiple emails set out over a set amount of time. It's meant to engage subscribers or those who have signed up for your list in different ways. Are you talking about sales? Are you talking about newsletters? What are you covering in these emails to communicate to your customers, keep them actively engaged, keep them feeling special with that personalized experience, and allowing them to continue to engage with you in a way that is financially beneficial to your business? So, what does this one say? There we go. I apologize. My slideshow is not cooperating effectively tonight. So what could an action series look like? And this is a series of emails that are automated that are basically calls to action. You're asking your customers to do something. So you're going to give them a reason why they should take the action. What is the why? That's a huge topic these days. What is the why for the purchase? Why are they signing up? Why are they spending money? Why do they want to engage in the activity or buy the thing that you're sharing with them? What is a unique feature of that item or service? Or what is something that is unique about your business that differentiates you from others? Or can you create some FOMO? Fear of missing out. Can you create some urgency with an email saying, hey, if you don't sign up for this whitewater rafting trip, you're going to miss a great time? What can you do? And again, this is based on Pierre's Bike Shop, so you can apply this to your business. Let's say you're a financial planner. Are you concerned with the way the market's fluctuating and you want to support your customers in growing their portfolio? Are you willing to sit down with them and develop a financial calculator to get them debt free, to make it a unique aspect? Or fear of missing out? Is there a benefit, and is there a closing window that if they don't take action now, that benefit's gone forever? Is there a fear of missing out on some sort of opportunity? So this really applies to any business. You just have to think about how your services or your products would fit into these particular options for an action series type email. And again, this can all be done on the back end of your programming when you're setting up your email. If you have questions on how to physically set up, so you say, Amanda, this sounds great, but I don't even know how to upload my logo, go ahead and shoot me an email and I will show you where to log in and where to put your email content and all your little details, whether it be Constant Contact or MailChimp, because those are the two I'm comfortable with. But if you have an extra 5 minutes, I could probably find it in another spot too. So let's talk onboarding. So this is bringing someone in. This is creating the buy-in, so to speak. Is it a thank you? So maybe you just had a donor give you a $5, $10, $500 donation, and you want to say thank you. So you send out an automated series that says, thank you for your donation. This is how we're going to use it. And then maybe a little while after it, you say, thank you. This is where your money went. And it includes a picture of how your money benefited somebody else. And then finally, you send a survey. Were you happy with how we used your money? Do you want to donate again? These are all valuable tools to keep people engaged and more likely to recommit to whatever your sale or donation request is in the future. Okay. I am going quite along here, so make sure you're taking notes in your book. We covered a couple different percentages, and we'll continue to go. So, anticipation series. You are building a buzz. Now, these are all different types of automated email series that you can send out depending on what you're looking to accomplish. So this one is maybe you're building a 5K race and you need to build excitement or anticipation. So you're going to sit down and come up with a couple emails that go out in advance of your event to get people really excited about coming. Maybe they're going to form teams, or maybe they're going to run in costumes, or maybe they're going to show up and they're going to bring donations with them. In Baldwinsville, we recently had the Polar Plunge. An anticipation series would have been great to communicate with the volunteers on the different teams to get them pumped about collecting money and then jumping in the river. So this is an example of how you can use automation to build excitement and to create engagement and keep them really captivated about what's going on. So question, what are the best ways to boost your open rates? Because we have talked about the different types of emails we can send, but we haven't talked about yet how to get them opened. And it's great to send an email, but it's crucial to actually get that email opened and have them take action on them. Now, if you are watching your open rates currently, if you're currently using email marketing, you can go online and Google what your industry average open rates are and see how you are stacking up compared to your peers in your industry. Because you want to know, are you effectively communicating directly with your customers in a way that they would expect for your industry? Now, sales and marketing industry, my engagement rate is pretty low. Generally speaking, I can get 12 to 15% for an industry standard for an open rate. Personally, and I am so grateful for this, our company has a 56% open rate. That is huge for any business. That means more than half of all the people that I email open it, and then they actually take a look at what's going on and then click links. And I can track who is interested in what based on what links that they are clicking. So let's talk about ways to boost your open rate? I'm going to go back because I didn't have any graphics. So we're going to talk about content. Are you ensuring that content you're providing them creates value? That personalization thing we've been talking about the whole time. Does it say, Dear Susan? Does it have fun little emojis in the title block that says, Happy Mother's Day with a little flower, Mother's Day special? What are you doing to get them the little fishing line to open your email? And we're going to talk about that a bit further more in the program as we go along, because I do also want to talk with it on how to open or how to handle those people who don't open your emails. And those are called the non-responders. They didn't open it, they didn't click it. Different programs have different features. Constant Contact and MailChimp have a resend to non-responders. Maybe they didn't see your email. Maybe it wasn't quite personalized enough. Or maybe they've been on vacation and they didn't get it and forgot to put up an out of office away message. So you can easily resend to those who didn't open and recapture an audience you may have missed if you didn't have that tool. So how are you going to provide value to your audience? What are you going to put in these emails to increase those open rates and keep them coming back email after email? And when they come back email after email, how are we going to actually grow your business and directly impact your bottom line to make more money? I like to go to the end slide, so if you're a screen reader, you can keep reading. So why are we sending the emails out to existing customers and new customers? Because we are sending this content, this information, because it can be 5 to 25 times more expensive to get new customers than it is to retain the customers you already have. Now, if you remember from an earlier slide, 45% of those who purchase from an email spend more money. I think I quoted that right. Spend more money based on that email. If we can cut out how much money it costs to get a new client, communicate to the existing clients we have, keep them personally engaged, and get them to spend even more money, that's a win, 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 win. 47% of buyers like to review 3 to 5 pieces of content. They want to be talked into it. They don't want to make an impulse purchase. They want to feel good and sound in the purchase that they're making. They want to know they've made the right decision to spend their money with you. So they want to see content that is engaging. They want to get to know you a little bit and then do business with you. And that's the whole element behind social media. It's a social, it's an interactive, it's an engaging platform. And you can do that through email and even a more intimate and personalized capacity. Then we take a look over here at this last box. 84% of customers are more likely to take action based on personal recommendations. So this is when you're standing at the drop-off line at school and you look at your fellow drop-off parent and go, hey, do you know a good pediatric dentist? Or you're online and something happened and you suddenly need a plumber. You're going to type out, does anyone know a good plumber? Now, if one of your customers has been receiving emails from you and their friend says, hey, do you know someone who, they can simply forward that email along, and then that customer, that potential new customer, is more likely to do business with you because they received an email that's legitimately from you and they got the referral from their friend. So it's instant trust value added. It's instant brand acceptability because to somebody else, you've already become accountable. So that's another reason email is so important. And it's one of the reasons it builds loyalty. So those clients of yours that refer out to other customers are going to be even more loyal to you because they are going to want to say, hi, I sent you 3 referrals last week. Isn't that fantastic? They're looking to build that relationship with you. So what content, we kind of talked about this, on how getting your open rate is dependent on your content. What content, what does it have to do? And this is on your form because these are important writer downers. Your content needs to be helpful. It has to solve a problem, and it has to be friendly and approachable. So in this example, it's what are 10 things every cyclist should know? So this is going back to Pierre's bike shop. What are 10 things he can share with his customers? And customers like that 10 things breakdown of the title. If you can tell someone a number and it's under 12, they're more likely to take the time to read your email. 5 simple ways to reduce stress. 4 ways to get your kids to eat their vegetables every night. 10 ways to reduce household chores and have more time for fun. If you can tell them how much of a time commitment they're going to put into place to engage with your email, because they're like, I can read 10 things, I can read 5 things, I can read 3 things, they're more likely to open the email. And if it's under 10, they're more likely to read the email because it's not overwhelming or daunting. So that's very important. Write her down in your note section is number your emails. Tell people how much time before they even open it they can expect to spend reading it. So when you're doing this, I want you to think about your own content. I want you to think about frequently asked questions. What are questions you hear all the time in your industry? For example, for mine, I always hear, how do I get people to open their emails? How do I get people to like my Facebook page? How do I determine which platform to spend my ad dollars on? Those are frequently asked questions, and frankly, they're easily Googleable answers. So I can put together a quick email and send it out the door to my customers. I can provide them value without ever actually costing me any money or a lot of effort. Not saying it's not effort, but a lot of energy into producing that content, because it's stuff I know off the top of my head. And if I track the frequently asked questions, I can potentially get a list of emails to send out for 5 months based on the questions I've already had. Maybe I'm going to send content from my blog or my website. Maybe I want to specifically reach out to my customers and say, hey, there's a new blog post. There's a new recipe. There's a new article about a medical breakthrough if I'm a doctor's office that I want my customers to be aware of. Or we can do an Ask the Expert thing. We can send an email out and actually say, hey, hit me with your questions. What are your concerns? And your audience will tell you what they expect to receive from you. And that's a beautiful thing, because now you can build an entire series around the content that people are asking for. And once they've asked for it, you know they're going to open it because they're already interested. Now, how are we going to curate the content? How are we going to gather the content from other sources? Well, I want you to think about the news. What did you hear? Example, as we were talking in this program earlier, there are now more cell phones in the world than there are people. I heard that on the Today Show. Al Roker was talking about it. That's information I can curate. I can go someplace else, gather, and bring back to you. Infographics. People love infographics. Can you build an infographic that talks about your industry, your service, or your products? Can you compare products? Well, let's talk about Pierre's bikes. Can we talk about a mountain bike versus a beach bike? What are the different options and how are they used? Blog posts. What have you written lately? Or, we're curating. What blog post have you seen? Maybe you're a business consultant and entrepreneur.com put out a blog post about the number of people who are seeking employment or the number of employers that are seeking to hire. Maybe that's information you can share dependent on the industry you're in. Or influencer content. There are now thousands of influencers out there, people who get paid to promote different content or products through their social media platforms or their email channels. So is there someone out there who is an industry leader or an influencer that has developed content that you would like to share? Oprah. Oprah's a great example. If you are running a business and Oprah puts out a piece about your industry specifically, you can say, hey, even Oprah is talking about life insurance. And that gives you some credibility because there's the name recognition through the curated content that Oprah developed. So let's do a quick practice of this. So this is an email from Half Moon Yoga Studio. It's a fictional studio, so don't feel bad if you love it or if you hate it. I'm sorry, Half Moon Yoga is not real. So when you're building your email and you want them to open your email, you want them to open a pretty email, one that is nice. So you want it to be visually appealing. Now, if you look at this particular email, there's a great big pretty picture in there and it says 6 superfood smoothies. The person can see 6 and the superfood in smoothies, so they know it's not going to read long when they get their title. They can see a picture of the smoothie and imagine themselves enjoying the smoothie. And since this is from a yoga studio, this is curated content. This is content to provide added value to their customers that is not specifically to selling to them. However, if you love the content, you look at the bottom of the screen, they are providing you ways to share it. So they are allowing their customers to do their marketing for them. It's a very handy tool because if somebody else is on a cleanse or if somebody else is trying out a new lifestyle, their friend is likely to forward that email to them because it's become a resource. Use video. When you're doing this, you don't necessarily have to use this little itty bitty picture that doesn't move. People love video. So go ahead and use video. And it's pretty easy to put on there. You can load your video content to YouTube and then put a link and your little video sitting right in the email. It may open in another window when they click it, depending on how their email program opens, but they can engage with the video. And we're learning more and more and more. Video is king currently. And we already said it, make it easy to share. Make it something that people can put out to their friends and family and become a resource later on. These are great tips on how to get it to be opened. How do you get someone to open that email? So what does this all look like? Okay, we have covered a lot. We've covered the purpose of the email. We have covered how to segment your list, and we have covered how to provide value. And now we're going to cover what does it actually look like? Like, what should your email look like? And again, if you have questions, feel free to raise your hands. This is the rule of 3. To me, this is vital, and there's a writer downer spot in your workbook for this. Don't use more than 3 fonts. Don't use more than 3 images. Don't use more than 3 calls to actions or click here links. Don't use more than 3 main colors. It just gets too visually building. And don't make it more than 3 minutes to read. Even shorter is better. People are looking for bite-sized, digestible pieces of information that they can access quickly, and it's visually pleasing, and it's something that they don't have to take a lot of time to really process. Now, in this slide, I put to the side a great example of what an email would look like for, say, a concert event. It's really cool. You can see there's a conference, you can see a register, or you can click a button to go to the program. And then you can see the read more. There are only 3 calls to actions there. There are 3 blocks here. There's the picture about it, there's a brief description, and then there's a meet our speakers. So you've provided all the information that you need about this event, but you've done so in a way that's visually appealing. So I said we're going to cover the get it opened. These are crucial writer downers. I want you to put it in your bottom here. I want you to use your back page for your notes for this because these are crucial. From name. So this is the spot when you're in your email marketing and you're putting who is the email from. Now, people typically will open an email from a person's first name more than they will a business. So if you are a small business, this is ideal for you because people will open it from, say, Sue Jones, but they won't necessarily open it from Susie's Q Barbecue Pit. If they know Sue, they're looking to develop a personal relationship with her. So if they see Sue Jones in their inbox, oh, it's an email from Sue. This is fantastic. What does she have to say? That will increase your open rates. Have an engaging title. Barbecue open this Friday. Come and get it. You don't necessarily have to put a call to action in there, or the ribs are on, or whatever you would like to say. Make sure it's an email that's or an engaging line that says, hey, you want to read this further. I think my best email line ever, I accidentally had an error in a previous email I sent out and I needed to correct it. And I said, did you see all the mistakes I made? That particular email got the highest open rate in everything because people wanted to see how I screwed up. I know it's terrible, but it's actually kind of funny. But people really loved the fact that I said, mea culpa, by the way, look at my flaws in a really fun way that wasn't self-deprecating. But they got to go, oh, look at that. The marketer screwed up her email and we can pick on her. So they opened it and they loved it. And I got so many emails on that. I got so many phone calls on that because that line made them go, I want to see what she screwed up. Fill in the pre-header with a teaser. 5 ways to de-stress. Learn how to de-stress from the car or after dropping your kids off at the traffic circle. Learn how to de-stress even if your mother-in-law's in the room. Learn how to de-stress in the middle of the airport. Like, what's a teaser that you can put underneath your header and then your pre-header? And let me pull up my phone real quick and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. The header versus the pre-header. Let's see. Okay. So here's one from the Greater Baldwinsville Chamber of Commerce. Let's see if we can, will it reflect? Yes. So it says Greater Baldwinsville Chamber of Commerce. And then the pre-header said, Sweet Dreams Candy Shop. So I know it's from Greater Baldwinsville or Mary, and they're talking about the Sweet Dreams Candy Shop. That's the subject. And the pre-header is the ribbon cutting and grand opening. So you can see right there that they have typed in ribbon cutting and grand opening. So now because of that email, I know that the Sweet Treats Candy Shop, Sweet Dream Candy Shop, is going to have a ribbon cutting. So I'm going to click it, and then I can find out it's at 11, May 11th at 8 a.m. So that's an example of a pre-header. It gives you that little blurb in your email on your cell phone or on your desktop that tells you what the email is about. It's kind of like a preview. Keep it social. So when you send these emails out, make sure there's a way that others can connect to your Facebook page, your Instagram page, or any other platform. It could be your Pinterest page. How are you going to engage with them outside of that email if they want to go get more information? Include links to your website. Now, let's recap because we're getting close to the end and I want to save some room for questions. Before I do that, I want to share with you a little bit on why email marketing is so important. I've talked about the different ways to do it, but I haven't gone into actual statistics. Now, this statistic to me is crucial. I don't know if you knew this or not, but for every dollar you spend on email marketing, there is a $37 return on investment. So that would be like for every dollar you spend on a lotto ticket, you will win $37 if you play the game. That is crucial. Now, if you want more tidbits like that, I have a whole list of specific statistics that I can email you after the class. You just have to let me know. I can tell you women are 80% more likely to open and read emails than men. I can tell you that email marketing is expected to grow, I already said this, 95% in the next year. So there are a ton of statistics that I could go into on why email marketing is important, but tonight I wanted to focus on the how. It's up to you to determine your why. I wanted to provide you the how to do it. So if you have more questions on defining your why, or specifically on which platform you want to use and how to use that platform after this class, please reach out to me. So today we talked about sending more targeted or segmented emails. We talked about automating your emails, pre-programming them to go out when you have a few minutes to keep that conversation going. And we've talked about how to provide value to your customers. Now, typically this program would have presented live, so we could have had a one-on-one conversation. And unfortunately, we did have to convert to the webinar. So we're at the question portion, and we have about 10 minutes left for questions. So I'm going to switch back to my other screen real quick. I'm going to go back to the main program screen, and I can see my chat box again. So those in the audience, feel free, raise your hand, ask questions, and I can go more specifically into details or any particular slide that you had questions with. Just shoot me your questions now. I'm going to pull up some more statistics for you while I'm waiting for your questions to be typed out. Was there anything in this program that I didn't cover that you were hoping I would cover? Was there something that you were expecting to hear tonight that you didn't hear? Please let me know that as well, and we'll cover that before we end our conversation this evening. Okay, so yes, email marketing with MailChimp versus Constant Contact. That depends on your personal preference. It's one of those, you get what you pay for. Both platforms have a paid program. MailChimp is a little bit less expensive than Constant Contact. They both have different programs to use based on the number of contacts you have. MailChimp typically depends on a help forum for answers. So you're going to submit a question and a collection of people are going to provide the answer. Constant Contact offers phone numbers, so you can actually pick up the phone and call someone who services your accounts and ask them questions on, hey, how do I turn my font to blue? Or where does this link go? Or how can I use different features more efficiently? So it depends on what your budget is, and it depends on how technical you want to get. Segmentation is stronger with Constant Contact. It's a base inclusion with even their lower end at $20 a month, where MailChimp segmentation is an add-on feature that you're going to have to pay additional money for. Great question. Thank you. Any other questions? I'm just waiting for a couple. We've got 10 minutes left. Feel free to raise your hand. I promise there is no question that you can ask me that someone hasn't asked before. There's nothing too embarrassing. There isn't anything I haven't heard in my 10 years of email marketing, 15 years of marketing overall. Yep. Okay. So the question is, if I have Facebook, why do I need email marketing? And that is a very simple question that can have a very complex answer. Now, Facebook likes to change the rules. So while you may be able to reach a very broad audience and you don't have to gather data to do that, the problem is Facebook owns Facebook. So if Facebook goes away, all of your contacts go away. Beyond that, if you're putting content on Facebook and you're emailing that audience, if you've captured their contact information, you are likely to have an 85% conversion rate, where on Facebook, you're only looking at a potential of a 20% if they're truly interested. And then engagement rate. So your engagement rate goes from 20% to 75%. Now your conversion rate, when you take that 20% more engaged on Facebook and that 75% more engaged in email marketing, and you put them together, that's where the conversion comes. I apologize, I misspoke. That develops a 90% conversion rate, which is why that return on investment for email marketing is so high. So when they see you on Facebook and then they see you in their inbox, they are more likely to actually click the button and close the deal. That's why it's important to use email marketing, even if you are using Facebook. Personally, I always say gather your data because Facebook can change the rules and go away at any point in time. But once you have that email address, as long as that email address is live and active, you can reach out to your customers at any time. And there are some rules to that. It's called the SpamCam Act, and it's part of the International Trade Agreement between Canada and the US that went into place back in, I think, 2015. And it actually is the regulatory terms in regards to sending emails. Now, yes, you get a ton of spam in your inbox. However, you also get a ton of spam phone calls on your phone. That doesn't mean there aren't laws that regulate legitimate businesses. Like you can't call certain type people on the do not call list, and legitimate businesses can't do that. Just like email, if they're on the do not email me list, or they say, I don't want to hear from you, you have to respect that according to the SpamCam law. Now you can Google that, and it's literally spam, S-P-A-M dash can, C-A-N law, and you can read all the details on what the rules and regulations are per that trade agreement. Thank you for the question. Okay, how much does email marketing cost? It depends on which platform you use and how much you pay the person to develop the content. So MailChimp has programs starting at $10 a month, and Constant Contact has programs starting at $20 a month. And it just depends on how much support and service you want. Now remember, for every dollar spent, there is a 39 or 38% ROI. So $38 for every dollar you spend. So if you spend a little more and you work a little more, your return is going to be higher. It's just it's a ratio. It's a correlation ratio. So it depends on how much you want to put into it to how much you want to get out of it. Okay. The question is, how often should I be emailing? Now, this is a great question. How often should you be emailing? Personally, I always say no less than once a quarter and no more than once a week. And people will get sick of your emails and just tune out if it's more than once a week. And anything less than a quarter, they'll forget they signed up for your list and they're more likely to unsubscribe. Or they'll think you don't care about them because, again, they're looking for that personalized engagement experience and they want to hear from you in ways that'll benefit for them. And if they only benefit once a quarter, they may not be interested in staying in your little club. Best day of the week. What is the best day of the week to send an email? Statistically, the best day of the week to send an email are Tuesdays. Mondays, everything just gets buried, and Tuesdays, people are back at work. However, if you are looking to do something specific, say you're a restaurant owner, you may want to email just before lunch or dinner, or you may want to email on Thursdays or Fridays when people get paid. So it depends on the goal of your email and what industry you're in. And again, I mentioned you can look up industry standard open rates. You can also look up industry standard send times. If you have a Constant Contact account, they will actually tell you based on your email list, based on the people that you have in your account at Constant Contact, they will tell you what time of day and what day of the week those email addresses most frequently open emails from others. Constant Contact is such a large email marketing platform that there's at least 5 names on everyone's account that they share in common. It's like the 5 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. So at least that one person, so say there's one person on your email list, they at least have a Constant Contact email address on a list somewhere with 5 other businesses within the company, a Constant Contact. That number was from back in 2017. It has likely have grown since then. So depending on what that data says, that will tell you which day of the week and which time during that day is best to send your email. And if you consistently send emails, you'll develop your own statistics and data. And all the different email companies have dashboards. You can see what time of day do people most engage with your email and what day of the week. Generally speaking, most emails get opened within 48 hours of sending, and it will tell you what time of day did most of those emails get open. So if it was right after your email was sent, you know people are really, really engaged. If it's further out, you know people are more interested in how you fit into their schedule. And if it's way, way down, well, then that just tells you that someone's looking for an email to open because they're avoiding a conversation, basically. Okay, my friends, this has been a great session. Thank you so much for joining us. It's just about 7 o'clock. As I said, my name's Amanda Funk, and I'm from Passions into Profits. And if you have any more questions about email marketing, social media marketing, or business development in general, please send me an email. I want to make sure I'm providing the most value to you for your time and our time together. So if there's anything in here that I didn't cover that you did want to hear, I would love to hear from you after this. Shoot me an email. It's amanda@passionsintoprofits.help. You can send us a message at passionsintoprofits.help on Facebook or Instagram. We're accessible any way you're comfortable with. Just let me know how I can assist you further. Now, I did promise everyone who came to this webinar an additional session with me outside of this time together, because unfortunately we did have to convert from the live session to the webinar. So after this, I'm going to send out an email. It'll be within the next 2 days when the copy of this video is ready for replay, to schedule time with me in the next couple weeks to get some more one-on-one time. So if you want to save your questions for that one-on-one time, you are totally welcome to do so. If you want to bombard me with questions and get your one-on-one time, that's completely okay as well. So feel free to reach out. I will be following up with you with a copy of this video within the next 2 days, and I look forward to connecting with you in real life. Take care. Good luck with your emails. Remember, consistency is king, and we'll connect soon. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.